Hi and welcome to Vintage Doll Collector. Please excuse my voice, I have a bit of a cold today. Today I want to share with you some dolls I put together to make a little Christmas display. Some of them are keepers, others are just passing through, but they're helping to make my holiday a little brighter while they're here. This is a reproduction FMB Honey doll, 19 inches tall. The original Honey was a hard plastic doll made in the late 1940s and early 50s. This one is made of rigid vinyl and came out in 1997. The paperwork that came with her says she was a limited edition of 300 pieces created for Value Vision International, a TV shopping channel which is now known as Evine. She wears a wonderful velveteen coat and hat with faux fur trim and matching shoes. The coat color is actually a darker red than it shows up here. Underneath she has a green satin dress with an interesting collar and a crinoline under the dress. Unfortunately, she has some red staining to her arms from the coat. She came from a big collection that I purchased at an estate sale, and I hadn't intended to keep her, but I think I just might. She's so pretty. She looks like she's going Christmas shopping in the city, and to me she embodies the nostalgia I feel for Christmas time when I was a kid growing up in Boston. This is a doll I'd like to display every year. This big 24-inch St. Nick doll is all cloth with a wonderful hand-painted face. His body is a heavy cotton fabric printed with Christmas designs and little heart-shaped buttons. His hat, coat, and pants are felt, and the coat has white faux fur trim. The lining of the coat is a Santa Claus print. When I take his coat off, you can see how his arms are constructed, with button-jointed elbows and different fabrics for the upper arms and forearms. What's left of his wrist tag says, "Patterned by EPB." I recognize that referred to well-known cloth doll designer Elinor Bailey. I found a picture of the pattern online. As you can see, the maker of my doll put a lot of her original ideas into him, as he's quite different. I found a signature on the side of his head. It looks like it says Margaret Bailey, maybe? I wonder if she's related to the designer. He's really way too big for me to keep, but I'll enjoy him for this Christmas at least. I don't think these two were meant to be Christmas dolls, but since one has a red sweater and the other a green jacket, they're great to display at this time of year. They're all porcelain, about 12 or 13 inches tall. They were made by doll artist Jeanne Singer for the Western New York Doll Club for the UFDC Region 14 conference in 1989. This doll in the red sweater and plaid skirt was the souvenir doll. Her friend with the cute freckled face was the companion doll, which could be purchased to go along with her. The souvenir doll came with the little brown teddy bear, and her friend looked like she needed something to hold too, so I gave her a teddy bear. They're marked on the back of their heads, WNY 1989 Jeanne Singer, and the freckled doll says Companion. If anyone knows what their names are, I would love to know. This is a Vogue Jill, hard plastic doll from the late 1950s. I have several outfits for her, but I put this one on when I first got her because her hair wouldn't lay down flat and the hat helps. But I loved it so much I never bothered to change her clothes. Another Christmas shopping in the big city outfit. The coat is velveteen and the collar and cuffs and hat are real fur. She has her original black shoes on too. Jill has such a pretty face, don't you think? She's 10 inches tall. This is something I had not seen before, a doll made from a wooden spoon. She has a hand-painted face with yarn hair. The red and green print looks Christmassy, even though if you look close, it's actually strawberries and not holly or anything really seasonal. Underneath you can see the handle of the spoon. This is the back view. She'd be a nice doll to have in the kitchen. Here's a little Santa Claus doll made by Irwin. He probably dates to the 1930s or 40s. He has interesting molded details. I initially thought he was made of celluloid, but in the reference book I have on celluloid dolls it says he's actually made of cellulose acetate, which is another type of early plastic. It's thicker than celluloid and stark white in color. You can see they saved some money by only painting the front of him. Here's the mark on his back. You probably recognize this doll. It's Madeline, of course, from the books by Ludwig Bemelmans. I loved the original Madeline book when I was a kid. Madeline's Christmas was originally published as a special insert to McCall's magazine back in 1956. It wasn't released as a standalone book until 1985. Madeline is all cloth with red yarn hair and a simple stitched face. She wears a red felt coat and black hat and has a red and black plaid dress underneath. She carries a faux fur muff, which is sewn to her hands, but I could undo the stitching if I wanted to take her coat off because she has Velcro in the muff to stick to her gloves. She was made by Eden. Here's the tag dated 1990. This is a Gilmur Rudley teddy bear made by artist Jackie Malersky. Most Gilmur Rudley bears are mohair, but this one is synthetic plush. He's fully jointed so he can sit or stand, but his right arm is sewn to his chest to help him hold his little quilt. He's got a velveteen Santa hat that sits over one ear and wears a bell around his neck. He's got a very small woven tush tag. He has a nice face, don't you think? This is a Nisse Troll, which is a character from Norwegian folklore, although this one was actually made right here in Maine. This is what it says in his wrist tag. At Christmas time, Norwegians offer some small tokens of recognition and affection to the little Nisse folk to show they are accepted as they are, not outwardly beautiful, but faithful in all their ways. In return, the Nisse bestows good luck upon the family. This one's name is Newt, spelled K-N-U-T, and he was handmade by the Folklore Doll Co of wool felt and mohair, with glass eyes and glass pellet stuffing. Look at his wonderful face. His arms are wired so he can pose. I think he's just fabulous. Definitely will be keeping this one. I've had this doll for a number of years. I found a doll maker on eBay who was making Raggedy Angel dolls, and I asked her if she would make me one dressed in Christmas colors, and this is what I got. Her wings and the bow in her hair have lost their stiffness over time. I love her face and the way her feet are made with the string shoelaces. She's signed by the artist on the back of her head, Larissa, and dated November 2002. I never did find out her last name. This is not a Christmas doll, but with her green taffeta dress, she looks great in the Christmas display. She's Lawrence Welk's Champagne Lady, made by FMB in the late 1950s. The FMB Glamour dolls are not as well known as some others like Sissy and the Revlon dolls, but she's just as nice. She has a jointed waist and knees and ankles. Her arms are really too close to her body, so it's hard to raise them all the way. She has a happy expression. Maybe that's why I like her so much. I think they made this dress in a red version too. I wanted to show you a few other Christmas dolls I have that aren't in my display. These are the Little Women Journals dolls by Madame Alexander. This set is wearing their special holiday outfits. They're 16 inches tall, so they take up a bit of room, especially in the boxes. This is Amy on the left and Meg on the right. And here's Joe and Beth. Beth is my favorite. She has black hair and blue eyes. This dollhouse-sized doll I think is meant to be Santa. At least he looks the part, with his pudgy waistline. His hair and beard are beautifully done. He came with this nightshirt which is too tight and the matching stocking cap. This guy has no clothes, but with his caracool hair and beard, I think he's meant to be Father Christmas or St. Nicholas. He has very tiny hands and feet, not in scale with the rest of him. Look at his wonderful face. Well, that's all for now. Next week I'll be back with a couple of New Year's dolls I want to show you. Thanks for joining me today. I hope you all have a wonderful Christmas.